This is my 2025 mock draft video. We're going over the whole first round plus more, so let's get into it. G'day guys, AT back with another video. Now, I've put this video off for a little while because I wanted to do my research and get this as accurate as possible. So right before we start, just keep in mind, half of these picks are going to be based off the best available player and the other half are going to be based on a positional need, so just keep that in mind. Also, I'm doing the academy selection slightly differently, just so it's a bit easier for people to follow throughout this video. But I'll explain that in more detail when we get to that point in the video. I want to keep this short and sharp, so let's get into it. With the number one selection to the Eagles, I have Willem Dersma, the 193cm midfield / utility. At this point, I think most people have Dersma going with the number one selection. For Vic Country, he won the MVP, averaging just over 24 disposals, 4.5 intercepts, and 128 ranking points. He can play on the ball, go up forward, take a mark, kick a goal, and also throughout this year, he's taken kickouts from fullback, so this guy is a genuine utility. Dersma also has two older brothers already in the league, one being a top 5 pick in the 2023 draft. And typically in professional sports, the younger sibling is usually better than the older sibling, so for West Coast, it's probably the safest pick at this point. He's drawn comparisons to the likes of Brendan Goddard and Will Day, and I think he's got genuine superstar written all over him. At pick 2 to the Eagles, I have Cooper Duff Tyler, the 200cm ruck / forward. Like Dersma, Duff Tyler is a bit of a unicorn. He's a very athletic, mobile big guy. He's drawn comparisons to Luke Jackson and Sam Darcy. At the Combine, he came 8th in both the 2K time trial and the 20-metre sprint, and his numbers were elite for a 200cm player. There were talks earlier in the year that CDT was going to be potentially the number one pick, and I think now, with the new ruck rules that just got introduced going into the 2026 season, his athleticism is going to be a big advantage and has just increased his value slightly going into this draft. Also, after a ruck contest, CDT has the ability to hit the deck and act as an extra midfielder, which could potentially be elite in 3-4 years' time with Dersma and Harley Reid. Now, on to the academy picks. Like I explained in the intro of this video, I'm doing it slightly differently, so I'm going to group them all together for this portion of the video. From Gold Coast Academy, we have Zeke Ewan, the wing / medium defender. Also, we have Dylan Patterson, the defender / wingman. And from the Lions Academy, we have Dan Annable, who is a midfielder. All these guys are predicted to go between top 5 and 7 of the draft. So just to simplify this video, we are going to have them as 3, 4, and 5. And also, we're going to take out the Suns and the Lions first round picks, just because they're going to have to take those picks out anyway to match the bids. So for example, the Suns have pick 15 and 18, and the Lions also have pick 17 and 23. Now, most likely all these picks are going to be used to match the bids for the academy players. Now, what we're going to do is take the rest of these picks, 15, 18, 17, and 23, out of the draft, and we're going to replace them with the next pick up. So now the Crows will have pick 15, and the Cats will have pick 16, Dockers pick 17, etc, etc. This is just to simplify the video, because this is most likely what's going to happen in the actual draft. Now, with Richmond's first selection in the draft, we're still going to label it as pick 3, because currently pick 3 still belongs to Richmond. And I think the Tigers are going to select Sullivan Roby, the 192cm midfield / forward. Roby is the biggest draft bolter since Clayton Oliver roughly 10 years ago. He's drawing comparisons to Degoe and Dangerfield. His best game for the Rangers saw him collect 40 disposals with 3 goals, 9 marks, and 70 inside 50s. Roby went through a massive growth spurt, which saw him bring over his lighter man skill into a big body midfielder and turn into an absolute gun in this year's draft. Bringing in another big body explosive midfield / forward to pair with Sam Layla could be extremely dangerous, especially if they turn into absolute guns and play like Patrick Dangerfield, Christian Petrarca, Dustin Martin. 2 of those on the same team could be absolutely elite and super dangerous in the future. At pick 4, I have Dyson Sharp going to the Tigers, 188cm inside midfielder from South Australia. Sharp is already one of the most all-round ready-made AFL players in this draft. At the National Championship, Sharp averaged 27 disposals, 11 contestants, 7.5 score involvements, 6.5 inside 50s, 6 clearances, and 5 tackles. So just judging by those stat lines, he's already got a very all-round game. Sharp captained South Australia at under 18 level, and analysts already say he's going to be a future captain at AFL level. There's been a lot of talk about which midfielder is going to go where in this draft out of Roby, Sharp, Grill, and Cumming, but I think Sharp is just a little bit more ready-made, a little bit more mature for AFL level at this point, so I feel like he is a safe pick for Richmond at pick 4 to pair with Sullivan Roby. At pick 5 to Essendon, I have Sam Grill, the 182cm midfielder / half backman. Grill is quick and explosive. He's drawing comparisons to Max Holmes and Ed Richards. Grill is a fantastic midfielder, but made the Coates Talent League Team of the Year as a half backman, averaging 20 disposals and 5 tackles. Grill is expected to start his career at a half-back, but definitely he's going to play midfield for the Bombers, and I think he's going to be a great piece of this Essendon side. With Essendon's second selection in this draft, I have them taking Xavier Taylor, the 191cm hybrid defender out of the Eastern Rangers. This kid is almost guaranteed to be a future gun. In 17 games for the Rangers, he averaged 18 disposals and 6.5 marks. He can play as your third tall, he can take intercept marks, he can run off half back, he can play on the second best tall forward when needed, and he's just a great all-round defender, definitely a top 2 defender in this draft. And I think he's going to be great for Essendon to pair with Sam Grill off half back. This next one might be a bit controversial, but someone has to slide in this draft, and I have Sam Cumming going at number 7 to Melbourne, the 186cm midfield / forward out of South Australia. Cumming is being closely compared to Isaac Heaney. In a game against South Adelaide, he hit 3 goals, collecting 21 disposals, 6 inside 50s, 5 clearances, 5 tackles, and 5 marks. So just judging by those stat lines, he's already got a very good all-round game. Like I said earlier, Cumming is one of those midfielders that could go anywhere. No one really knows at this point. It's all going to go on what the team needs and what is available. But I think Cumming, out of all the players, is most likely going to slip. Now, I think this player is going to be the biggest steal out of the entire draft, and that is Josh Lindsay, the 183cm halfback / wingman. This kid is one of the best kicks in the draft with his lethal left foot. He is drawing comparisons to Carl Amon from the Hawks. This season, he earned All-Australian honours for Vic Country, averaging just under 22 disposals and 75% efficiency by foot. He's going to be one of those players in this draft that is going to impact the team he lands at instantly. As soon as he gets an uncontested kick, he's going to hit a target 90% of the time, and I think Melbourne are going to absolutely love having Lindsay on halfback. The next player I have with Carlton's first selection is Harry Dean, the tall defender / key defender. He was named the fullback in the under-18s All-Australian side, averaging 15 disposals, 3.5 intercept marks, and almost 90% efficiency. Dean is a top 2 defender in this class with Xavier Taylor. Dean is also linked to a father-son selection and is most likely going to get bidded on earlier in this draft, but for this video's sake, I just have him at pick 9 because he's probably roughly going to go around pick 9 anyway. With Hawthorn's first selection at pick 10, I have Ollie Greaves, 191cm midfield / forward. I just did a video yesterday about who Hawthorn are most likely going to select in the 2025 draft, and I had Ollie Greaves as the number 1 most likely player to be selected by the Hawks. So if you're interested in seeing that Hawthorn draft video, go check it out. Greaves won Vic Metro's MVP and also came second in the Lark Medal this year. In 10 Talent League games, Greaves averaged 25.5 disposals and over 1 goal per game. Greaves would be a great fit for the Hawks. As we know, Hawthorn just lost James Warple. Greaves is great as an inside mid who can also play on the outside. He can also go down forward and take marks and kick goals, which is a positional need Hawthorn are lacking. In a prelim final for the Rangers this year, Greaves collected 35 disposals, 4 goals and 14 marks, which is easily his best game of this year. Now I'm going to rapid fire the rest of the selections in this video. Now, with pick 11 to Carlton, I have Aiden Sherbert, the 200cm ruck / tall forward. Now, if you had Lockie Doverson, the small forward in here, I wouldn't be complaining, but obviously Carlton just locks Curnow and De Koning, and Sherbert fits at both the needs as a tall forward / ruckman, so I think position-wise, it makes a lot more sense. At pick 12 to the Giants, I have Mitch Marsh, 191cm medium forward. The Giants have a lot of small forwards, and Jesse Hogan is getting up there in age, and I think Mitch Marsh just fits the team a lot better than some of these other players. So Mitch Marsh to the Giants with pick 12. The Eagles at pick 13, I have them selecting Jacob Farrow, the 188cm halfback / midfielder from Perth. Drawing comparisons to Jordan Dawson and Hayden Young, he's an absolute gun of halfback that is going to potentially develop into a full-time midfielder. Obviously, being from Perth, he's most likely going to stay long-term, and I can guarantee you if he's still available at pick 13, West Coast are going to pick him up. Pick 14 to the Bulldogs, I have them selecting Oscar Taylor, the 182cm defender out of the Rangers. He came runners-up in the Rangers' best and fairest. In 17 games, he averaged 20.5 disposals and 4 marks per game. I think this is a positional selection. The Dogs obviously have a weak backline, and any little bit can help, so I think this is the most logical pick for the Dogs. At pick 15 to the Crows, I have them selecting Harley Barker, the wingman / halfback. This guy's the best wingman in the draft. He's from South Australia. He's been compared to Ollie Dempsey from the Cats, and I feel like him and Curtin on the other wing will be a great wing duo for the future, so I feel like this is a logical selection for the Crows. I'd be very surprised if this guy slides as far as I'm putting him here, but with pick 16 to the Cats, I have Lockie Doverson, the small forward out of the Rangers. He's been compared to Nick Watson, and he made the Coates Talent League Team of the Year. The Cats probably need another ruckman / key forward, but I feel like if Lockie Doverson's still on the board, you'd be stupid not to select him. Like I said earlier, he may go to Carlton, but I feel like Carlton need Schubert a lot more than Doveston. But yeah, this kid's going to be a gun. He probably won't be as good as Nick Watson, I'm predicting, but he'll probably be better than Isaac Kako. So that's just the range where I see him succeeding in his rookie year. This next player is another small forward. At pick 17 to the Dockers, I have Laurel Pickett. From South Australia, 32 goals from 18 games. He is the cousin of Melbourne superstar Keziah Pickett. I feel like this is more of a best available selection for Fremantle. I think he could definitely impact in his first year, kicking roughly 20 goals. And yeah, it's not a bad pickup for the Dockers. With the 18 selection, I have the Bombers taking Louis Emmett, the 199cm ruck/forward. I honestly would not be surprised if Geelong took Emmett over Doveston because they're more in need of a tall forward/ruckman. But Essendon also need a ruckman probably just as bad as Geelong. Emmett averaged 15.3 disposals and 1.2 goals a game in 4 Talent League games. And with the final selection of the first round, I have the Hawks taking Jovan Philippou, the midfield/forward. I also covered Philippou in my last video about who Hawthorn are going to take in the 2025 draft. So if you want more detail on Philippou, go check that video out. Philippou's got a bit of X factor about him. He can play on almost any line on the ground. He's an all-round player. He's athletic. He can take a mark. He can kick both sides of his body, and his IQ is elite. I feel like he's most likely going to get picked up a little bit higher than the last pick of the first round, but he does seem like one of those players who could slide. So I feel like if Hawthorn saw Philippou available with their second pick, they're most likely going to take him. Now, here are a few more players who I predict are either going to be selected late in the first round or early in the second round. First, Adam Swede, the 175cm forward/midfielder. Max King, the 191cm medium forward out of the Sydney Academy. Archie Yulin, the 197cm forward. Harry Kyle, the 188cm defender out of Sydney's Academy also. Jack Ison, the 191cm mid/forward. Lastly, Noah Hibbins Hargraves, 186cm midfield/forward. And this is the overall top 10 picks plus the Academy guys. Gersma, Duff Tyler, Yulin, Roby, Patterson, Cumming, Annabelle, Grill, Taylor, Sharp, Lindsay, Dean, and Greaves. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Comment down below, how did I do in this mock draft? What do you think I got right and what do you think I'll get wrong? Very curious to hear your thoughts and opinions. Also, yesterday I did a video on who Hawthorn are looking to select in the 2025 draft. So if you're interested in seeing that, go check that one out. It's a really good watch.